Hi, my friends. Welcome to Sort of Brilliant, a show where the characters are made up and the sorting absolutely does matter. My name is Rachel.
And I'm her best friend and co-host, Lauren. Every other week, we're going to invade a fandom and determine whether your favorite character belongs in Gryffindor, Hufflepuff, Ravenclaw, or Slytherin.
We're the Harry Potter podcast that talks way more about any other franchise.
Here, we use the sorting structure from Harry Potter as a common language without supporting the author or her beliefs. As for the sorting itself, there's bound to be some arguments along the way.
But in the end, we're always right.
According to us.
According to us.
Oi, cunts! It's Rachel's birthday! Yay!
Woo!
Celebrate! She's turning 42. Doesn't she look great?
Wow.
That doesn't work 42. When people can't see you, Rachel. This little trick. Because people will just legitimately take me at my word.
I don't know. When my students ask me how old I am, I say 75 so that they'll tell me I look great for my age. So no one can know my real age. Just know it's somewhere between 25 and 35, and that's all you need to know.
4 years older than me, if you can figure out my age.
Anyway, it's my birth month.
It's her birthday, and she wanted to do The Boys. She made me watch a whole ass television show just for her.
It's fucking
Never
good.
would have done it alone. Her and no one else. Not for Jensen Ackles.
That's correct. These are all factual statements. Wow. I watched Veronica Mars for you, and Jensen wasn't even on that.
You loved Veronica Mars.
That's not the point.
I loved The Boys, so
yeah,
cancels each other out. Yeah.
Works out fine. When I get you to watch Buffy, that'll be my Veronica Mars.
I have tried so hard. It's not like I've been resisting.
Or you don't love me. It's really that simple.
That fucking hyena episode is where I stop every time.
I don't care. You have to push through. But today is not about the Buffy, unfortunately.
Next Rachel's birthday.
It's about me. So let's talk about August and why it's such a great month. Well, for one thing, I was born.
Fall, but not really.
And it's the beginning of fall. My birthday is August 21st, and typically new seasons start on the 21st. So fall, according to the masses and general public, typically starts on September 21st. But that's a lie that the media and Vought have constructed to get you to just swelter in the heat longer without pumpkins and without fun things. So don't let them win. On August 21st every year, you should begin the celebration of fall.
Starbucks knows, because that's when the pumpkin spice latte comes out.
They do. So I'm glad they're on my side. But yes, the boys. Oh boy. This is an interesting
This was
show.
a really good show to sort. I had a lot of fun. None of them were hard. They were all really obvious. The ones we're talking about today, we're talking about Homelander, Butcher, and Soldier Boy. They were all extremely obvious. I actually had Soldier Boy sorted before I watched the show, just from seeing stuff on Twitter and talking to Rachel about him. Yeah, it's very obvious. Mm-hmm. The only people I had problems with are Frenchie, Mother's Milk, and Kimiko, which was interesting.
Oh, Kimiko and Frenchie to me are still a mystery. I haven't really
thought about it.
Not enough.
I think I'm there. But they were the ones that didn't immediately jump out at me. But
those two are tough.
Maeve and Annie and Huey.
Maeve and Annie were for me the first in the series to sort. They were the easiest ones for me. And then it was Butcher. And then it was Homelander. And come on, guys. Soldier Boy was really...
Am I the one who made you realize what Huey is when I said it?
No. You said someone told me he's a blank. And I just went... Lol. Like I didn't want to confirm it or tell you, because he can't go in any other place.
No one told me who he is.
You said somebody told you, or you read it, or something. You were having a conversation with someone. I'll go back and find it.
I don't know. I haven't.
All right, that's fine. After the episode, I'm gonna go back and find it. That's fine. That's fine. 2 months from today, I'll find it. But I remember the conversation because I was like, oh, you can't confirm or deny that to Lauren, because then she will do her weird thing where she's like, you can't tell me that. Because now I have to argue against it.
And I can't. Not weird. It's not weird to want to have thoughts for myself before other people influence them.
I guess. If you want to frame it that way. Christ almighty. All right. So him and Butcher specifically, I think, are the two obvious. They're so obvious. Soldier Boy and Butcher.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I think they scream their house at you. And Homelander, if you don't know a lot about the house, might be tougher for you. You might want to put him somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he's really clearly one specific house. But we'll get into it. We are going to have to decide who's going to go first, which is tough. Because I'm going to tell you flat out. I watch this show in a lot of the same light that I watch It's Always Sunny in. I'm not watching it because they're good people. I'm not watching it because any of them are like genuinely great characters. Besides maybe MM.
No. They're good. Not
I think
good in the
MM
sense of morally, but they're
the morally good
characters.
character.
Like they're
I really actually think it's just him. I think the rest of them are all fucked up and fucky. But obviously the bad guys, you hate the bad guys, the good guys, you root for the good guys, whatever. But a lot of the time when I'm watching the show, I'm like, damn, who's really a good guy here? You're all fucking up and you're all doing terrible, stupid shit. And so what that does is it allows me to enjoy the antagonists too.
It does.
So
because it's like the Deep is a racist, or not a racist. He's a rapist. I switched the letters.
He's very Chuck Bass about it.
Yes, he is. But he's bullied. So I'm like, oh.
Well, it's not just that. It's that you're talking about people who they're superhuman. So they're not really playing by human rules ever.
Mm-hmm.
The rules are just simply not the same for them. And they're used to getting whatever they want.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to look at it through a lens of like, they don't have basic human decency the way we have it because they're just being catered to forever. Like they're like any spoiled rich asshole in the world who's been raised by a fucking nanny.
Superheroes.
Yeah, it's like that. So you don't forgive it or excuse it. But then if the character can come around and learn from it and make better choices later, you can then say, okay, well, at least they learned. In this case, it was Annie. And however Annie feels about it is how I feel about it. Like, she's obviously still fucking can't stand him.
Mm-hmm.
And he's also a moron. So it's easy to be like, you're a fucking dumbass. But what are you going to do? I can't watch the whole show and just be like, you're a murderer and you're bad and you did this. So I can't condone it. Like, I'm not going to like anybody if I do that, if I watch it that way. So you got to take the good with the bad. That's what makes them complex, interesting characters. The Deep is one of them for sure, but he's not getting sorted today. He will be.
I can't wait to sort it.
Hilarious. Oh, he's so funny.
I actually don't know what House A-Train is either. I need to think more on him.
I have an idea.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, A-Train and the Deep piss me the fuck off all the time. So, like, you brought up the Deep, and I was like, go off my tangent. And I brought up A-Train, I'm going to go off my fucking tangent again. I'm trying to control myself because this episode's not about them. But they both annoy me so bad. So bad. Just stupid characters. So dumb. When given the opportunity to make the right decision, like, nah.
Yep.
I don't want to do that.
Oh my God. When fucking, what's his name? Who was that, like, dancing kid who was almost in the 7 and then Homelander murdered him because Annie, I don't remember.
Annie's ex-boyfriend?
Supernova? Yeah, was that his name? I don't remember. But when he was in the fucking elevator and A-Train's like, oh, I'm so mad at Homelander. And he fucking just spills the entire goddamn plan to them. I was like, you don't know this man. What the hell is your problem?
Yeah, no, he's a Dumbo.
And the Deep is too. Probably.
I don't know. Probably.
I mean,
I don't really. This is a weird show for me because my genuine favorites are the women. So Maeve, Starlight, and Kimiko are my 3 favorites.
Yes.
And now while I have love for Butcher, I also can't fucking stand Butcher sometimes. And while I hate Homelander, sometimes he entertains the motherfuck out of me, and he's super funny. So it's a give and take, a push and pull. The only ones that I truly love and root for are the women, because I am a misandrist. So at the end of the day,
yeah,
put that on record, isolate that, and put that on my LinkedIn page.
Take it out of context. It's in context.
Isolate it. So yeah, I have love for the characters, but I'm not attached in a deeply loving way to the ones we're talking about today. So you're gonna hear a lot of me calling them fucking stupid fucks, because they are. Now Warren's like, not Soldier Boy. I love Soldier Boy.
I love Soldier Boy.
Soldier Boy is a Dumbo too.
He is a Dumbo, but in a different way that I enjoy immensely.
All right, she's gonna wubbify him. That's fine.
No, I'm not gonna wubbify him. He sucks. But
yeah, but he's so hot.
If he offered me a doobie, I would take it.
I would. Yeah, I probably would. I'd party with all of them, probably except Homelander, because Homelander's really scary. Like the way Anthony Starr plays this motherfucker. Oh my God, the creepiest smiles and the smirking and the faces he makes. Someone pointed out that he has like a shark face.
Yeah.
And he really does. Like, he looks like a shark. He scares the shit out of me. There were times this season where I was just like, if this man was looking at me like that in real life, I'd pee myself. I genuinely, even without him being Homelander. So I don't know. Who should we start with?
It's your birthday. You decide. Who do you want to talk about first?
I have. I don't like making decisions.
Well, part of being a grown up.
I'm not that. Remember,
Miss Sandra.
I just turned 18 today, so it's hard for me. We can talk about. Let's just start with Butcher.
Okay.
Let's start with.
Do we really have to tell you?
I hope I don't have to tell you.
I can't. Do we? He screams in your face. He rolls up like, "Oi, cunts! I'm in this house."
Yeah, he really does. So, I mean, if you've watched the show, it should be no surprise to you that Billy's a Gryffindor.
Yep.
Like, through
Massively.
and through. Now, you're going to get a lot of me probably saying things like, it reminds me of Dean because Eric Kripke also wrote Dean. And I think he put a lot of Dean.
I was going to say,
Billy.
didn't somebody, I don't remember if it was Jensen or Eric, I think it was Jensen, who said that Butcher was what Dean could have been if they had been able to
I thought that was
far.
like a fan.
I don't know. Maybe it was. Somebody said that.
But it's true.
It's true and also not because Dean's perfect. But anyway.
Exactly. And Billy's not perfect.
No.
He's not perfect. He's an asshole. So in my ongoing quest to remove Gryffindors from being like the good, loyal, courageous, brave group, no, I gotta go hard on them because I'm one of them. That's not always the case. Now, is Billy courageous and brave? Sure. Okay. But is he always that way for the right reasons? No. He does a lot of what Dean did in early seasons where it's like, if you're a Supe, you deserve to die. If you're a monster, you deserve to die. Like, there's no variation in it. And like Dean.
Unless they're doing something.
Later,
yeah, but I don't even know if Butcher's there yet because it's like Annie is dating Huey.
Nah, he's not.
Yeah, so it's like as long as Annie's helping, it's fine. But he absolutely would turn around and shoot her. Like,
would love to shoot her.
Like,
and I think Kimiko, it's just because she's become part of the boys. So now he's like, well, she's one of us, so
right,
leave it alone. But he didn't. He try to kill her?
Yeah, he did, and also he's a leader who understands that Frenchie and MM will simply not come back. So it like
And I mean, you could say that Billy does shit like with the understanding that MM's not going to forgive him this time, with the understanding Frenchie might not forgive him this time, but he still does it. And this is a thing that Gryffindors do sometimes.
And then he explains it to them, like this is why this was correct. Like we had to do it. We had to do it.
Yeah,
there was ask for forgiveness, not permission. Yeah. Like,
oh, what a great model for Gryffindors. Yeah. So, I mean, Billy, if we're to listen to like what Becca said, I remember in the earlier seasons, Becca said she makes allusions to like his dark, violent side. He always had one, and you go back and you look at his life and his childhood with his father, and it's pretty obvious why.
Daddy issues. Yeah,
and it's pretty heavy shit. Like his father really is
abusive,
bad dude.
Yeah.
And it's
his
under
brother
the guise of like, I want you to
committed
be
suicide because of it, and like
yeah. And of course, he blames himself for that.
Right, because he left. Yeah.
Right. So it's interesting.
That's why he's imprinted on Huey.
Super
Huey looks
interesting
like his brother.
That he left, though, in the first place. That he did. He left, like, he tried to put himself first.
Well, he
probably
convinced
for the first
himself
time in his life.
in the toxic, like, he can handle himself. Like, he has to grow up and handle himself.
Right. Which is weird. It can be weird for a Gryffindor, but some of us, like, in like real life situations with Gryffindors, I know, are able to do this at some point. Sometimes it's later in life, like you're able to rip yourself away from a toxic family dynamic.
I mean, we also saw him do it with what the fuck is the kid's name? Now I've lost it.
Ryan.
Yeah, he probably did in some way too. The push away, like I'm bad for you. You know,
my God. The whole third season is that where he's just like. It's literally like the old scene of the little girl with the dog, like, go on, get out of here.
What
like,
is it? Isn't that a Game of Thrones thing? Didn't Arya do that with her?
She does do that, yeah. But it's like I'm remembering like an 80s
I know.
It's movie.
It's from millions of years ago. Yeah. It's a common trope. Like
it is.
Go on, get out of here. I don't even like you.
Yeah, And he does that to Ryan. Ryan can't understand that that's what Billy's doing. But you see him try at first.
Yeah, that
like,
kid's
I don't want to
so
listen to
sheltered.
this.
He has no.
He's like, I don't want to listen to this little fucker. Like, I don't want to hear what you have to say.
I was pretty proud of him that he got past, because Butcher is the type where I was like, he's not going to get past the fact that, like, he killed his wife. Ryan killed his wife. But he did for her. And also because her dying breath was, this child is your responsibility now.
Yeah. So as much as he wants to kill him, it's like the mental guard went up in his brain. That's it. The Gryffindor has been given a new responsibility, new task
unlocked. You have a baby now.
Yeah.
That whole thing that Obi-Wan was trying to do with Padme when he was shoving Luke in her face.
Yeah. But he can't take the kid home with him. The kid still has to be in witness protection and everything. Probably if he had gotten Ryan home with him, it would have been a great dynamic and he would have been able to really fix that kid.
And if the kid could have like hung around the boys.
Yeah, would have been way better for him. So it goes though, because now I fucking hate Ryan. So fuck them kids, as Soldier Boy says. And I can't stand that little shit anymore.
God, Butcher's so full of shit too. Because like, what, he wants to kill Homelander so bad. Like, that's his white whale. He has to kill Homelander. Like, that's the only thing keeping him alive. Like, we just found out he has 10 months to live, and like, obviously he's like, well, I gotta kill a Homelander before I die.
Yeah.
Like, he sacrifices his morals for it, because Gryffindors will do that. They will twist themselves to be like, this is my moral correctness, but this other thing is so much more that I need to just bend it a bit. So he takes the temporary V and he becomes a superhero, the thing like he hates most in the world, because superheroes are like full of shit and they misuse their powers and they hurt the little people. He becomes one of those people so he can kill Homelander. And you get to the end where he has a chance to do it. And then this fucking kid comes in who he was like all like season was like, I don't care about this kid anymore. Like, I'm not going to care about this kid. It's dragging me down. This kid shows up and he's like, don't kill Homelander. It's like, what? Yeah. Are you kidding me? Come on, Gryffindor.
Well, it's what he's decided his main goal is, and he could have had it.
He had it.
Could have
had
it.
I think it could have happened without the child dying.
Season 3 finale. I have a huge problem with it. I liked the whole season until that point. That was the dumbest fucking thing I've ever seen. That was truly stupid writing. It made absolutely no sense, and you made Soldier Boy the good guy, and you made me really fucking want to punch Billy in the mouth, like more than ever before. Because I could understand and forgive his hypocritical bullshit with the V. I could get on board with it and see, like, I don't understand Annie's argument or Huey's argument, or anyone who at any point had argued that it was morally incorrect to do. Like, you're a fucking human.
Fuck Huey. Sorry.
Yeah, no. Oh, well.
We're not talking about Huey.
I don't even want to get onto Huey.
Huey.
But all you motherfuckers are like, you have to fight him the right way, even if it's the wrong way, because you have to be the right way. Like, y'all stupid. Y'all are stupid. You are human. You cannot fight Homelander human. You can't do it. So there was absolutely nothing wrong with him taking the V, especially it was Temp V, to help get him a leg up and to do whatever he needed to do to get there. I was fully on board with it. And then what? You're just not going to do it at the end? Like, it's like what you just said before about the changing mind and how, like, well, for Gryffindor, this is what I'm doing morally. This is what I'm doing. I'm right. Oh no, Ryan's in danger. Now that has to take precedence. And I have to fucking go back on everything that I worked for this entire season and try to take this dude out. He was your ally, bro. I don't like it. I don't like it. He finally leveled the playing field. He finally did. And he let Ryan stand in the way. Ryan would not have been a problem. Like, somebody could have gotten him out of there. It's so stupid.
That's what I was.
Absolutely dumb. So yeah, but having a little bit of a hypocritical nature is not rare to Gryffindor House.
No, not in the slightest.
So, no, because we're bendy. Because we're bendy. So, you could say we're flip-floppers, whatever. You can do that.
Like, what the fuck, like, you build your entire life around some traumatic event. Like, his wife disappeared, and, like, that is Butcher. That is Butcher's personality. My wife disappeared.
Because so many Gryffindors come from trauma and base their whole life and like everything that follows around that trauma, you learn from, especially if at a young age like he did, you learn how to be malleable and you learn how to be versatile and you learn how to quickly assess the situation and mold yourself to that situation for whether it's survival or just like getting what you need to get done. So I think that's why a lot of the time Gryffindors are very like, oh, well, that's the main character is a Gryffindor. Like, they're the likable underdog because they have these kinds of backstories that force them to become these really what you think are charming individuals, but you don't know that you're being manipulated or that like they're doing it with an agenda. And Butcher does this a lot. Like he manipulates and lies and gets whatever the fuck he needs to get done to get to this one end goal. So I just think it's really shitty writing that he got there and didn't. It's just, I understand you didn't want to lose Homelander yet. I
know,
get it.
I was just saying that.
But what the fuck?
Losing Becca, like, became his entire, like, thing. Like, that's all Butcher was. Like, that's the one thing people knew about him, that his wife had disappeared. And anytime anybody was like, Butcher, you're going off the deep end, he was like, my wife is gone. Like, that was like that was the whole thing. So it's just, I mean, that's Gryffindor too. It's not an end goal necessarily, but it's just like this is the thing that they've taken on, that it's their grudge that
everything's
they literally
modeled
will
around
not
it.
let go of. Yeah. Like, it's a good thing that he's dying in 10 months, because what the fuck is he gonna do when Homelander's dead? Like, this man can't reform. Like, what is his life gonna be?
He's really he is set in fucking stone with who he is.
Mm-hmm.
He also, I briefly want to say, does the Dean thing that Dean does with Sam when he doesn't want to fully explain himself. No time to explain myself. You're gonna argue with me, I don't want to hear your shit. So he knocks him the fuck out. He just punches him in the face. And Dean has done this to Sam to knock him out, to not have to hear his bullshit. And Butcher does it to Huey because that's exactly the kind of relationship that I think that Kripke was trying to
emulate,
model there. I think he likes brothers and fathers a lot, just gonna say. And it was just really, I totally understand that. Like, I don't need to hear you right
Rachel's
now. I don't want to
right,
hear this.
Out.
I would love to do that. It would feel so good. But no, just like in real life, it's mostly just like placating people so they shut the fuck up. You know, like, yeah, you're right. And then I go do whatever the fuck I want. In media, though, they can just whop and lay one on them. And, you know, that would be great to do to one of my brothers, but maybe one day. So he does that to Huey because Huey in this show, I think, does what Sam does for Dean sometimes too, where it's like he gives him either it's like a moral reason that something is wrong or something is right and points him in the right direction, because we oftentimes Gryffindors can get really bad. What's the word I want to say that I'm doing on Zoom right now? Laser focused on one thing, and it blinds you to everything else. Yeah, straight up can be, because we're extremely judgmental. So it's like, oh, are you a monster? Bad. Boom. Oh, are you a soup? Bad. Boom. And like, there's nuance to things, guys. It doesn't have to always be that way. But I think that's what Huey's meant to be for him, as much as I hate Huey. I think he's supposed to be like somewhat of a compass for Butcher.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? At the end of the day, Butcher's going to do whatever the fuck Butcher wants to do.
Compass, because Butcher has his own compass. He's very set in like, this is correct.
Well, what can we say Huey is?
Huey is like meant to call him back to like, I don't know what I would, because, you know, Butcher's convinced whatever he's doing is moral righteousness. He's very righteous. He's like, shut the fuck up. I think Huey is supposed to be like the normal man on the street, right?
Maybe,
like, murder's bad, you know, like that.
Right. I think maybe he's just he offers an alternate point of view that Butcher often needs to hear.
Yeah. And
it's helping that it's coming from a younger male, because it is like his little brother stand-in. I don't know that he doesn't listen to MM, who often is way more right than him about things. He won't listen to him, and I think it's because he has MM on equal footing with him. He respects MM as an equal.
MM is another alpha male. Huey is not.
Huey
needs protection. Huey is clueless. Huey is somebody that Butcher dragged into this
Huey's
life.
A bastard man. Huey's a bastard man.
I think he feels a little bit of responsibility for Huey. He like dragged him into this shit. So
Oh, but look, isn't it the whole thing? That's the driving force behind Butcher, too. Being responsible for all if only I could have protected Becca and I couldn't. If only I could have saved Becca and I couldn't. If only I hadn't dragged Huey into this and I could. Like, he keeps fucking up and then blaming himself for fucking up and then fucks up again. But he does it in a very distinctly Gryffindor way.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of these characters keep fucking up over and over again, but they're not doing it the Gryffindor way.
They don't learn lessons. Yeah. But no, he does. He's like a constant cycle of, oh shit, that didn't turn out well. Like, maybe I should reflect on that and feel emo. And then he comes right back and does the exact same fucking thing again. And it's like, it didn't turn out better this time. Why not? Like, you know.
I know. I can't. I actually, when Lauren was watching the show, she was like, I love Butcher, whatever. I'm like, fucking Butcher. God damn it. I want to beat the shit out of Butcher. And she's like, you don't like Butcher? I'm like, no, I love Butcher. I just want to beat the shit out of him. Like, you just do everything that makes me so mad. And I get it. I get everything he does. Yeah. Except the finale. I would not have done that.
You would have killed Homelander.
I would have absolutely. That's what I'm out here to do. I'm out here to kill him, right? So what are you going to do? You have superheroes in the room to protect Ryan.
I don't get it. Like, what did they? I don't. Like, they're in so much shit.
All they had to do.
They're in so much shit.
All they had to do if they didn't want to lose Anthony Starr's Homelander, because that's what it is, and don't lie to yourselves. That's what the fuck it is. All they had to do was depower him and make you have to watch like a fucking lame human Homelander next season.
Like they did with Chuck in Supernatural?
Yeah. Or Cass for 5 minutes. Like, that's all you had to do to extend it. But Eric Kripke has his own agenda, and we won't talk about that here. So, whatever.
Probably 2 more seasons, I'm guessing, right? 5 seasons?
It
or is bread and butter?
I love it, but it shouldn't be. It's getting to a point where it's like, this is stupid. Like, you had the power to take him out. You had more than enough power to take him out. That the fight scene with Soldier Boy, Butcher, and Homelander in one of the earlier episodes of the season. Yeah, at Hero Gasm. Fantastic. Coolest fight scene, best fight scene I've ever seen on the show. Got me really hyped for the finale, and I just could not believe where they went with it. Especially because I'm looking at this big Gryffindor who cannot be swayed, who will knock you out if you're in his way to protect you and to get to his goal.
Beats on his friends to get to Homelander.
Yeah. And then Ryan, no, because his other moral fucking shit with Becca came in. Like, I have to protect Ryan. You don't even like the kid.
He does like him, though. They showed that. They played Connect 4.
Okay, let me amend that to I don't even like the kid, so I don't really get it.
So you should have killed him.
Yeah.
He's, I don't know. I mean, they're fucked now. Like, Homelander's not gonna not absolutely eviscerate them now that they've done that. And now he's also got Ryan, who could potentially be persuaded to be evil now. So,
yeah. And I think, also, what's very early seasons Dean, the last thing I pretty much want to say about Butcher, is that he's primarily driven by anger and resentment. So, and I liked something that Homelander said to him.
Which is how I know what his Enneagram is. Anyway.
Homelander even actually, like, he's like, I have to admit, you're impressive for a human. Like, you stand in front of me and you challenge me and no one fucking challenges me. And you're actually not afraid. And I think he says something like, I can hear your heart beating and it's not fear, it's anger. And that's new.
Yeah, that was in the season 1 finale.
Yeah, it was. And it always stuck with me for Butcher because I was like, okay, that makes a lot of sense with his house and who he is. It's just straight up pure rage fueling him towards the next thing. He doesn't have any room to feel fear.
Just rage vibes.
So, I mean, put that on, all the Gryffindors out there. I'll make you a bumper sticker and we can all so we can see each other on the road and wave. But yeah, that's that. And I think he has a lot in common with Homelander, actually. But I will tell you, they're not the same house. Which I don't think should be a surprise.
No.
I don't think anyone's like, oh, Homelander or Gryffindor. I hope not.
That'd be interesting. I'd be interested in hearing that thesis.
I wouldn't, because it's wrong. So that being said, we can just move into Homelander.
I mean, I'd be very comfortable in them being wrong. I just want to hear why would you say that?
It would make me so mad. But they have similarities. Now, Homelander, Lauren, what house is Homelander in? Should we tell them, or should we just describe him first? Homelander's motto.
What's his motto? You say his motto, and then
his motto is, I'm the Homelander. I can do whatever the fuck I want.
I love Homelander. I don't love Homelander, but you're going to hear me say that a lot because
I love Homelander because I hate him. I love to hate him.
Oh my God. He's not even a complicated one.
Nope.
He's a Ravenclaw.
Big time.
And it's not even hard. He's so funny. He's not even hard. His system, like we just had Obi-Wan, and Obi-Wan was unhinged because he followed an unhinged system, right?
Yeah.
The Jedi system is fucking whack. And he was like, I am going to be this. And then his like natural personality also was a part of it. Homelander's system is so simple. He wants to be loved. Love him.
So bad.
And he is on the 7 and he's with Vought because right now that is the extreme best way to get love. But
Correct.
He's not unhinged because of his system. He's just...
Okay. Consider now I'm not going to be an apologist for Homelander.
It's such a simple system. It's so simple. It's so easy.
I just want to flat out say, like, I was an Anakin Skywalker apologist. I'm not a Homelander apologist.
No.
But I can see where Homelander, why he is the way he is. So
yes, he was grown in a lab where people
he was
pointed at him and
tortured
laughed
heavily as a little kid.
And every father figure he's had has said shit like, you're a disappointment. You're just a bad product. Like, you know.
But I think it's even, you know what? I think it's even deep. Like, it's even more fucked up than just that because that's enough to make a Gryffindor. To push it into a Ravenclaw, I think you need the brainwashing torture. So, like, he was tortured as a little kid, like a small child, and he was sociologically brainwashed because Vought wanted to create a personality for him because, like, this is the jizz of Soldier Boy, so we have to make this exactly what we want.
Has to be our face. It's the face of Vought.
Yeah, and so like Lauren said, the father figures all fucking hate him,
yeah.
And he learns at a young age that his love destroys, right? He hugs his babysitter too tight and fucking murders her. Mm-hmm. So what this does...
Very of mice and men. Very Lenny.
Maybe Lenny's a Ravenclaw. So he learns that I can't have love. Like, nobody loves me, and this is what love does. But he still craves it, which I think is what causes the split personality with him, because he has this like alter ego that's truly a psychopath.
Yeah.
Whereas the Homelander we get is not a full psychopath. Like, he has the capacity to want to love and to want to be loved. His alter ego does not. He's like, you're a fucking pussy. Say it. Say you want to be loved. Meh. Like, so there's these two sides to him, and his alter ego is even worse than him.
Scene.
So funny.
Yeah, it's like it's all connected to like being pure too, right? Because like he's like this dirty human that wants to be loved, and his alter ego is like, you are the best person in existence. You were genetically created in a lab. You are the most beautiful. You have the strongest powers. You are pure. Cut it out with this love bullshit.
Right.
Like, you know? And it's wrapped up in a bit of toxic masculinity, but I think more it's like toxic superheroinity or whatever. Yeah.
No, it is. But, and he also has to learn very quickly, like, this cold, hard logic, because that's all that's ever been given to him. So something that's like common in Ravenclaw House can be cold, hard, fucking logical fact. Like, there's not really room for forgiveness or empathy in certain situations, and a Ravenclaw does this really well when they need to. So talk about the plane incident. It's his fault the plane's going down. Did you do it on purpose? No. His laser eyes fucked it, okay? But it's pure cold logic that dictates I have no choice but to let everybody die. No, Maeve, we're not saving the mom and kid because cold logic says if I save the few and sacrifice the many, it's going to get out. Mm-hmm. So we can't save them all. So then he does what Ravenclaws are really good at. He flips it and he makes it work for him. Like, he flips it to the media. He's like, well, if Supes had been in charge here, this wouldn't have happened. Mm-hmm. So he knows how to twist situation to get what he wants out of it, because that's his whole fucking shtick. He always gets what he wants out of a situation. That's very like Butcher. Yeah. It's very like Butcher. It's just done so morally differently.
And Butcher's very blunt force. Mm-hmm. Like, you hit something hard enough and eventually it'll bend the right way. Like, you know.
If I hit it harder, it'll do what I want. Yeah, Homelander doesn't necessarily do that. Homelander can just threaten. Mm-hmm. Like, he can just look at you and give you that weird smile. And you're like, oh, I've pissed myself. Sure, whatever you want. You know? So I think...
I was telling Rachel in early seasons when they had, the first... I don't fucking remember her name now. The first VP that he, like, loved. I don't remember her name. Miss something or other.
Mommy Milkers?
Yes. But it's so easy to get him. Like, she knew exactly. Yeah. She was like, drink from my breasts. I'll like pet your hair and tell you I love you. And
Stormfront, that Nazi bitch, also knew how to do it.
Yep.
He's not difficult.
No, he is not
at all.
difficult to read, to play within his system. Like, it's not.
Yeah. Well, sometimes you can even argue that like certain Ravenclaws don't care about public perception, right? Just the perception of those around them that they respect and love, because it's already such a big deal that a Ravenclaw respects and loves you. You're like a special chosen class.
Mhm.
But in Homelander's case, it manifests in a weird way because he wants everyone to love and worship him. Because I think it's because it's the only thing he can't conquer on his own. And I think for a Ravenclaw, they're always looking for the next thing to learn and master and ultimately conquer, because they want to become the greatest or the best at what they do. They don't want to stop until they're the expert.
And be the best loved person.
That makes emotional connections tough.
Yeah.
Because Homelander's conquered everything else.
Yeah,
this
and
is the hill
he
he
views
can't
them
climb.
in points, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's how Vought works. So he's like 86% approval rating, 98% approval rating or whatever. Like, he is manipulated into letting Annie be a co-leader of the 7 because of approval points. Like, that's what it is. Like, and there's the point where, well, I mean, especially at the end of the season, but when he did that whole speech that Vought didn't approve, where he was like, this is all bullshit and they're controlling your minds and blah, 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 and his approval ratings jumped. And he was like, that was just me being me. Like, that wasn't a curated speech or whatever. He's like, you mean they loved me for being me? And like, that's when his, like, it was like new level unlocked in this system where he was like, oh, I've been playing this game and it has been working, but this works better. Like, you know?
Yeah, I mean, the most dangerous thing you could have done to him was show him that he could take the mask off and be loved. And they gave it to him. So now he's scary now.
Yeah. He also had that moment, too, when Maeve was threatening him with the release of the plane tape. And he was like, you're not going to do that, because if I lose their love, then there's nothing holding me back. Like, I'll just fucking burn down the entire fucking world and nobody can stop me.
I'll fucking blow up New York for fun.
Nobody can stop me.
Yeah. And it's true. He's just a ticking time. But the only thing that stops him is that he's got this own personal psyche, this problem that he needs people to love him. And I think he needs
He wants to be loved more than he wants to be feared. He does.
Totally.
But if he can't have love,
Michael Scott of
then
him.
it's fear. I want the fear.
But you know what I think one of the big contingencies of that is? That he wants it without conditions, which is almost impossible unless it's family.
Yes. That's the weird thing about him. He wants to be worshipped, but he doesn't want to be a dictator. He doesn't want to force people into worship. He wants people to decide that they worship him because look at me. I'm
but that's
amazing.
The thing, like that kind of love comes from family, and what's the most fucked up thing in his life is his family. So most of the time, loyalty or love wouldn't be driven by fear. That's not real love. So this is why he's so desperate for family in a way you don't always see with Ravenclaws, but sometimes you do. Like you see it with Charlie Kelly from Always Sunny when he wants his real daddy's love, and I think it's because they search for an unbreakable connection. I think that's what Homelander's always on the hunt for, like an unbreakable bond, especially considering his system. It's just true. He wants true love. And if he wasn't such a sociopath, and like if he wasn't a brainwashed psychopath who became the villain antagonist that he is, it'd be sad. But it's less sad.
I mean, I'm like, it's still sad, but I don't feel anything for him about it. Like, you know?
Yeah. I would love if he could be fixed, but you know what, Daddy, I can't fix everybody. So, but I think Butcher and Homelander
fixing him.
No, probably not. No, not when he's got like Stormfront on a bed, burnt to a crisp, and he's getting a hand job from her and just jacking off into the wind over the world. he's pretty much too far gone.
The perfect man.
Yeah, he needs it.
You're right though. Like the second that Soldier Boy called him up and it was like, I'm your real daddy, he's like, oh my God, I love you. Like, you know, like he's so ready for it. He doesn't even care if this person is like a decent person or if he like personally likes them before he realizes that they're related to him. He's so weird. It's like blood, and immediately he's like, because
he's like, oh, my chance at unconditional love. You have to love me. You're my dad. Yeah. Like, not so. But I think he knows with Ryan, okay, now this kid already does like care about me. And I see some of myself in that. Like I just immediately jump to my dad's side too. So I can mold this kid into being like my perfect little partner in crime. Which I think is obviously what's going to happen. Ryan's going to become a dick. So the difference between him and Butcher is I don't think Butcher needs to be loved the same way. Like, I don't think he needs that connection. But what I do think he needs and what Homelander both need is to be in control because the two of them.
The closest Butcher came, and it wasn't even about love, is when Huey started being like, I don't think you're the best leader for this group. And he's like, oi, who the fuck is going to take over? Like, I'll punch you all. Like, I'll tie you all up.
Yeah.
And we'll marionette you into the fucking gang of people that I need you to be.
Yeah. But I mean, throughout watching, like I just noticed as a viewer, they're paralleling the two of them throughout the series, right? As two separate leaders or two separate groups. So I'm like, how are they similar? How are they different?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I'm like, what? They're two different houses. What do they have in common? And I think it's something that Ravenclaws and Gryffindors just generally have in common. And it's a problem it's a problem with authority and control. A big problem with it. And not to say like Slytherins and Hufflepuffs love control, but I think Ravenclaws and Gryffindors have much more of a internal issue with being told what to fucking do and having to go along with it. So the two of them, they're always fighting this, like the forces that are quote unquote above them or in charge of them for that control because neither of them want to be manipulated. And they both get used as pawns constantly by people in government mostly. And they fucking hate it.
Or in corporations.
Yeah. Which, is government at this point. But it's
I mean, they do they actually make them fairly distinct in the boys, which is
I was making a real life commentary.
Yes, it was a real life, but in the show it doesn't work, Rachel.
I know. So yes, they just neither of them want to be manipulated by anybody else. They both believe they should be in charge and calling all the shots. Then you've got it's two alpha male personalities together, and they're both kind of insufferable that way. But fun to watch. The other alpha male on the show is Soldier Boy.
The only other one. Soldier Boy.
I am saluting at the camera.
This is what Steve Rogers should have been.
Sorry, Hannah.
No, but I actually read an article to that effect. Like,
this is modeled after Captain America.
Yes, he is. He's the antithesis Captain America. That's his character. That is what he's supposed to be. Just like Homelander's the antithesis Superman.
Is he in Steve Rogers' house? No. Probably the same way that Homelander and Superman are two different houses.
Oh, that'd be interesting
That would be so interesting. Let's do that. But I don't know what Butcher.
The Deep and Batman are in the same house, though. No, that's Black Noir. No, Black Noir is Batman. I'm sorry. I was like, what the fuck? Okay. Aquaman
and the Deep are not in the same house.
No. Oh, that'd be interesting. I don't know if Black Noir is who Batman is. It might be.
It seems like it.
Yeah.
But he's not rich. Who knows?
No. They are the counterparts. I was talking about their houses. Their houses might be the same.
I don't know. But
anyway,
I think Black Noir is cooler than Batman.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think. Well, maybe he does. I was gonna say
Superman too.
I was gonna say I don't know that Batman has animated characters living inside his head, but he might.
Right.
So
he might. I actually have a real severe problem with Superman.
Okay.
Like we have beef. Because
like Natalie Portman beef? Is it fresh?
No, it's more like whenever like you get to talking with friends and they're like, what superhero do you think I'm like? People always fucking give me Superman and it makes me want to throw up. I don't know. And personality tests always give me him. And I'm like,
why?
I'm literally nothing like this. So I don't know what the fuck you people are seeing, but it's weird. So just a resentment has grown in me.
Now I have beef with a fictional
So
character.
I like Homelander better than Superman as a viewing character. Like I don't want to watch a Superman show. I'm so sorry. Anyway,
Superman
Soldier
and
Boy's
Lois
cap.
is pretty good.
But Steve Rogers is a Slytherin.
He is the Slytherin. Soldier Boy's house is Twisted Slytherin, I guess.
Twisted Slytherin.
Yeah, I don't know.
Love that.
That'd be a cool band name. Soldier Boy's a Hufflepuff. Like, I knew this before I watched the show. It's so obvious. And this is not continuing the trend of bad people are Hufflepuffs. I refuse, because Soldier Boy is my favorite person on this show. And also, like Rachel said, he was fucking right. And they made him the good guy.
Right. So we're talking
cryo-sleep. We're talking post.
Yeah.
After he wakes up.
Right. He doesn't really do anything fucking wrong.
I don't know, because also it was so interesting that the show never explicitly showed us or had him say.
That was a big problem for me, and I told Lauren this. You are not explicitly showing us what a fucking villain you
or
want
had
me to
him
hate
say.
him.
Like, he didn't demonstrate personally.
No, there was no demonstration of
saying it. or an animated cartoon eagle, like very briefly.
So, and that was the closest I ever came to disliking him. Was when I saw that, when I saw what he did to Noir. That was it. This is the first time I'm actually seeing it. Otherwise, you're not showing me all these atrocities that you're saying he committed. And I'm sure that he did, but you're not showing me, so you're doing a bad job.
Yeah, like even the flashback
they tried
Liberty,
to say...
They did the Stormfront flashback, so you saw Liberty.
Correct.
Yeah.
So you know it has to be bad, right?
Right.
But you don't see him. And I'm to believe through, like, promotion for the show that he's as bad as Homelander? You've maybe watched 3 seasons of Homelander jacking off onto everything and being a fucking, unruly toddler with
just murdering people because he feels like it, yeah.
Yeah, and then you're gonna show me this fucking boomer and be like, he's just as scary and bad. You did a piss poor job of it, and you made me like him.
Yep.
He failed.
Yep.
But he is a Hufflepuff.
I love him, actually. Yeah, he is a Hufflepuff. He, I don't even know what... Like, the biggest thing about him, right, is that he is woken up, and Butcher and Huey find him, and they're like, yeah, we're really mad at this Homelander guy. We really want him dead. And Soldier Boy's like, this sounds fucking stupid. All the people that betrayed me, I want them fucking dead. And so Butcher's like, cool, that's fine. We'll help you find those people, but then you have to help us kill Homelander. And Soldier Boy's like, I'm a guy who keeps my word. I do that shit. So yeah, fine. Like, you want him dead, I want them dead. Help me, I'll help you. Like, fine. And then we can go our way. And so he, like, hangs around with these 2 assholes, just doing his drugs and smoking his weed and eating his burgers and just being happy that he's out of that fucking Russian chamber and done being brainwashed and, and traumatized to the point of PTSD.
It's
I don't
really
have fucking shell
too.
shock. I don't have fucking shell shock. Fuck you. But yeah, he's extremely traumatized to, like, the point that he can't control when he hears Russian music. Like, he blacks out, basically. He cannot control it. And he looks up at you with those big puppy eyes and goes, I didn't mean to hurt those people, and I fucking believe him, okay? I don't care what you say to me. I believe him. He's just done. He's so apathetic, and I don't know. I mean, you get a glimpse, especially towards the end of the season, where I'm like, this man is extremely apathetic post-waking up. But I'm like, the things that Vought did to him, like, he was the first ever superhero, so he, was the first one to survive being injected with V. Mm-hmm. And then they took this guy and, like, gave him this, like, poor boy backstory when he was the son of, like, this guy who owned half the steel mills in Pittsburgh, and he, like, was a rich boy, but his father hated him, thought he was, like, the hugest disappointment. He went to go do these V trials so he could say to his dad, I did something you can be proud of. And his dad looked at him and went, wow, you're a fucking pussy who didn't even put any work into the stuff that you've achieved. And so he was like, all right. And he was like, I want to have kids just so I never treat them like it's just so. But you get the feeling that even before the sleep, he was kind of a bit apathetic. Like, Vought told him what to do and he did it. Yep. And I don't know, because I have to see him actually talking about this stuff or see the scenes of him doing it. I don't know if he felt anything about it. Like, he just fucking did it.
It's pretty clear from flashbacks that pre the big sleep is what I'm going to refer to it as. Mm-hmm. He was like, and you know from Kripke that this is what he wanted to get across. He's hyper masculine. Yes. It's arrogant, machismo bullshit, right? Mm-hmm. Which is a product of also the time period, because men of that time were fucking dickbags in that way. And
Jensen's talked about it a
Womanizing
lot. And
bullies,
he abused his team as well, right? Like, we saw Old Black Nar, and we heard, like, they wanted him, they hated him enough to want him dead.
But if you remember, Grace, like, when she's telling the boys about it, she's like, he could never read a room. Like, he could not read the room. So this is something he carries with him later, because when he hunts his team down, he's like, why?
And he's genuinely hurt, too. He's like, I don't get it. And especially with the Countess or what, he loved her. He really did love her.
So he's not understanding why that happened to him. He's not understanding what he did wrong, even though, like, to you and me and the casual viewer, we're like, yeah, duh, you're being a fucking
abuse them. Like, yeah.
But he's not being told. He's being told this is great because it's American propaganda that they put him out in front of the cameras.
And also Vought like, yeah, keep your team in line. Like, beat them up. Be a man. Show them who's the alpha boss. Like, and he's like,
So he's doing what he's a good little soldier. That's what he's doing. That's why he is Soldier Boy. Yep. So, like, his idea of...
No, but he's given a very clearly defined role, and he does it. So that, yeah, he's
That's
confused.
Hufflepuff.
He's confused. Why are you mad at me for doing what I'm supposed to be doing? And I'm just talking pre-sleep. I'm going to get into a whole thing post-sleep, but pre-sleep. He's like, I don't understand why you're turning against me for doing what Vought has told me to do, what I was created to do. That I was literally created. Like, I was literally shot up with this weird-ass drug in the 1940s to do this. And, like, it's almost the same because Steve Rogers started out as propaganda as well. Like, they didn't actually let him fight. He went over to the European theater and, like, did a little song and dance and moralized the army. And he was like, you know what? It's so interesting, too, because he specifically says that he was a part of D-Day and he just did it on drugs. And that guy who was his manager says that he wasn't.
The legend says he wasn't there.
Yeah. So it's also interesting because I'm like, who is?
Yeah, we don't know. It's all fucking hearsay. And I am inclined to believe him because I don't find him to be a liar. I don't think he beats around the bush at all. I think that
whether he actually like fought at but then we saw him fight in Vietnam. Like he was fighting.
Right.
So I don't know.
The whole thing is alpha male, the same way that Butcher and Homelander have it. But he does not wear it the same way, where I was just making the point before that Butcher and Homelander both have a problem with being told what to do.
Authority.
Soldier Boy doesn't have this problem.
No, he's like...
He follows authority.
He sees that it's part of his job. Like
it is
soldier.
It's his job.
Yes, he's a soldier.
Yeah, it's all very on the nose.
He's like, this is what I'm supposed to. So then he, gets woken up and he gets given this new job by Butcher and he's like, well, I mean, this dude's gonna help me get rid of all these assholes that like tried to kill me for no reason. So, sure. I'll do that. And he's very focused. He's very like job oriented. Like that's very Hufflepuff. Like when they're after the guy that reads your mind and puts you in the sleep. I forget his name, Mesmer or whatever. No, because there was that one guy who reads your mind. I know. His name was Mesmer. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. Mind reader dude.
Yes.
He, I don't know. He puts Butcher under, and Huey's like, "We gotta save Butcher. Like, I hate him, but he's my friend." Soldier Boy's like, "No, if we do that, we're gonna die. Like, we just have to kill this dude, and like, maybe your friend will be saved afterwards." But also, that was not part of the job description that I was given.
Right?
So.
It's not. Yeah, he's like, "I'll fulfill my role here." But don't ask me to go.
I'm going to kill this jackass and then we can go kill Homelander. But like, I wasn't told that I had to keep you little people alive. Like, I'll kill Homelander whether you're alive or not. But,
he just doesn't have any emotional connection to it, really. Like, he's hunting down his old friends
apathetic.
For emotional.
He doesn't have
emotional reason,
but even when he's faced with them, like even the first one where he truly loved her, like the rest of them, I don't think he really cared about. But the first one, he truly loved her, and he was like, "Well, but I got to kill you." So like, you did that shit to me.
It's you did this, so you know.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's so like if he's not.
It's so fucking bad what happened to him there. It's so fucking bad. When I saw them put the gun in his mouth, I like was just shocked to my core at what I saw them do to this man. He
like comes back and he's like, "I want to suck, I want to fuck, I want to eat, and that's it. And if you're annoying me, I might kill you because you're annoying." But like, I don't feel anything about it. Just like. Leave me alone.
The other thing that like really confirms the Hufflepuff nature of this man is the judgment. So like
I was gonna say, when he's watching
with Homelander especially,
he's watching his old movies and the fucking twins are bad actors, and he's like fucking unprofessional. Like they couldn't even do what Vought wanted them to do.
Literally a Hufflepuff screaming at his television, like. Because that's his whole thing, right? He's a professional. He's got the face for the camera. Everything is for the camera. He's very well trained. So even in this little role that Butcher's given him, he's going to be a professional and he's going to do it. But the judgment for me, like the whole ending with Homelander where he's just like, you're just a pussy who's starved for attention. You're just so like...
And the reason that he thinks that is so Hufflepuff too, because there was a moment between the 7th episode and the finale where they tried to get you to be like, ooh, Soldier Boy might like him now. Like Butcher's worried about it. He's like, oh man, he's not going to kill Homelander because he's his fucking dad. Yeah. And he had just had that conversation with Soldier Boy where he was like, I always wish that I had my own kids because I would have. This is also a very Hufflepuff statement too. Like I would have done it better than my dad. Like I have nothing. I have no logic to back that up, but I feel inside of me like I would have done it better. Like because I'm determined to do it better, so I will do it better. But no, so there's that moment where the show and Butcher are both like, oh no, he might not kill Homelander now because Homelander has turned out to be his child. And it's so funny because how Homelander is like, oh, we're blood related, immediate love and affection. Soldier Boy's the exact opposite. We're like, oh, I had no fucking influence over you, fucking pussy. Like, I wasn't there to raise you right.
Yeah.
So you suck. Like,
he does not like what he's seen of this person, of this kid. He's like, as far as I'm concerned, you're a rogue jizz. I like have nothing. It does not matter to me. This is not the chance that I wanted. Now, what's interesting, like, he could have molded Ryan into something.
He totally could have.
If he wanted to. He didn't even
I think I think he already saw it as a loss. Like, he didn't take the time to really think about it, but I think he was already like, kid's too old. He's already met Homelander. He's been affected.
Right, you've been affected by the weak sniveling pussy that he is. So, no thanks. And also, like, Ryan attacks him. So now I have to, like, fly swat your ass across the room. Like,
true. It's like, it's total apathy. It's not, like, any emotion behind it. It's just, like, you attack me. Like, I have to kill it. Like, you know.
And once again, at the end, you put Soldier Boy in a position where he's looking at a group of people just like, why the fuck are you doing this to me?
Yes! Oh my God,
I did what you asked!
I can't. I'm so mad for him. And, like, I don't think the show intended to do this, but I feel like everybody feels this way, where they're like, what the fuck, Butcher? Like, you gave this guy a job. He did everything you asked. He has shown up and he is going to kill this man. The only thing that you've been bitching about for the past 3 years that we've known you. And you're like, no, you can't do it. And then you shoot your laser eyes at him?
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's the first time. Again, it's not understanding. He's like, I do not get it. I do not understand.
What he needs to understand
from me.
What Ben Soldier Boy needs to understand is that not everybody has. I know. Not everybody is honorable, and this is what Soldier Boy is at his core. He's honorable. He's going to honor his word. He's going to keep to it. They're not like that, my guy. People are not like that. Like, especially you got a fucking Gryffindor who can just ping pong back and forth, and an unhinged Ravenclaw. Good luck.
I was gonna say, like, I think that's part of his problem too. Like, is the honor thing, because even when he's awful to people and beats on people, he's like, I got fucking beat on, and I still do what I'm supposed to fucking do.
Boomer logic.
So, like, exactly. He's like, so why don't you quit being a fucking pussy about it? Just because I did this one thing to you, like, fucking do what you're supposed to do.
Also, love him because he punches Huey. Just want to throw that in there, you know? Like, he's just never, like, y'all made it so fucking hard to hate this man. He didn't even try to blow up Midtown. He didn't even try to do anything wrong ever.
I didn't mean to hurt those people. I did not mean to hurt those people. And
I'm not a bad guy.
I fucking believe him.
I believe him too!
I fucking believe him.
Now, did I want to get his revenge? Totally. Yes. Because, again, nobody on the show, it's not black and white. They're not all good. They're not all bad. And had his family ripped from him. You deserve, in my Gryffindor brain, you deserve retribution for that, okay? I'm on board with it. But MM's story is the only time I'm watching the show and I'm just like, oh yeah, like Soldier Boy did fucked up shit. Like, that's the only time you're making me think it or feel it. When you put him on the screen, you're not showing me a monster. You're showing me a guy does have shell shock. You're showing me a guy who's been fucking tortured, abused, who doesn't mean to actually hurt anyone or do it. He's just always following orders. You made it very hard to hate him. Very hard. Because he really is blindly just following what people tell him to do because he's got a code of honor.
Which can be an evilness in itself,
it can.
Right? Like, if you're like a corporation like Vought is telling you to do bad things to people and you're doing them without questioning it, like, you're a pretty bad person.
But this is the problem. They weren't showing. They were showing us him trying to fucking kill Homelander, who's the big bad. You got me rooting for the guy.
Yeah.
What are you doing out here with this writing? Come on. You're
part of
making
it's
my
probably
Italian come out.
Jensen Ackles' fault as well, because he could fucking take the most one-dimensional fucking character in the world and play him on screen, and I'll be like, oh my God, there's like 6 layers to this fucking... Yeah.
And can you all stop saying that we gatekept him and we were gatekeeping Jensen Ackles from you?
No, you refused
Nobody was.
to listen. You refused to listen.
Yeah, this is your fault.
I fucking, enjoy watching Supernatural now without all of us here to hold you up. Like, fucking suffer.
You should.
Suffer.
This is very Hufflepuff of us. This is very Hufflepuff of us.
Try to yell about it, Dean and Cass, on the timeline. We've already been there.
Oh, you can yell about that.
No, you can do it, but I don't have sympathy for it. Like, no. You know, but No. Oh, that's very Hufflepuff. Like Soldier, he definitely others. He definitely is
Yeah.
like can't
Well,
be people. Gotta
listen,
be killed.
I think what he is especially others is people who go against like the agreement or against whatever the code was or whatever the mission was, right? So they were all part of a group. They all betrayed him. Now you're fucking othered. You have to be
I
killed.
was gonna say, like, it's very easy for him in his brain where he's like standing next to me on my side. You hit me, not on my side. Like,
Right.
you know, like
Yeah. Listen, it would be really boring if all we were getting was characters who are just mostly like all good. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So these are the characters that are interesting to dissect and are interesting to enjoy watching because it's fucking boring otherwise. What am I going to do? Sit here and be like, and this character is so sweet and so nice and always follow the rules. Hufflepuff. Like, you don't want to listen to that. You don't want to listen to that. So I have no judgment for you or myself for enjoying these characters and for supporting their ridiculous behavior. Because there are times that I had to support Soldier Boy in this show. And you know what? That was your fault, writers.
This is the entire fucking season because we never saw him pre-sleep except for that animation. And like Rachel said, that was the only time where I was like, because I love Black Noir. He's fucking funny.
Yeah, that made it hard. Well, you also see him with Grace when Grace is young. And yeah, he's a dick, but it's like alpha male shit. It's alpha male bullshit. It's what I expect my grandfather to have been like back then. You know what I'm saying? Like a fucking real boomer.
Yeah.
And it's like, you're so goddamn annoying and your worldview is so wrong and twisted. But then they brought him back and he saw the gay couple walk by and he was like, huh.
Yeah. And
Like-
then they also had him sit down and have a heart-to-heart with Butcher about why he has that worldview. And I'm like, okay, so what am I, like,
Right. So now, here's what you've done. You want me to compare him to Homelander. Homelander has a tragic backstory, but the way he behaves as an adult that you allow
Also,
me to
the
see
way that they
makes it
frame
impossible to empathize.
I was going to say, the way that they frame it, too, is also like Homelander chooses to be this person,
Right.
where it's like Soldier Boy was created to be this, like he was, influenced.
He was.
So-
Influenced supernatural fandom. Sorry, you couldn't see the look I gave her when she said it. So
like, the way that he was like, you're so fucking gross all the time. I feel like that's part of his way of like taking back control almost. Because he can just say like that's
well,
one
it's
of the
only
things
thing he has
do.
control
I was
over.
gonna say
you know?
that's one of the only ways where he can be his own personality, whatever he chooses it to be. And like his vernacular is so disgusting, but it makes me laugh. But like when he's on the phone with Homelander telling him that he's his dad, you kind of get like he's so offhand about it. Like, they dragged me into the facility and made me beat off into a cup and then they took my jizz or whatever. But it's kind of like that's a bit it's a bit traumatic that they were like, we own you and we own all parts of your body.
Right.
Beat some shit into a cup and we're going to do whatever the fuck we want with it. Like,
it's very interesting that him and Homelander have very similar backstories and they both came out completely differently. I feel that maybe it's because Soldier Boy had a real family beforehand. He's not just a full lab baby. That maybe he was able to come out of that with like not being a complete psychopath. Even though that backstory was tragic too and abusive.
It is their houses too, like their motivations behind doing things. Like Soldier Boy wants to do what people ask.
But I guess what I'm getting at is like you're molded at a certain time in your life, and I think Homelander's is a lab from infancy and propaganda and being brainwashed, whatever. And Soldier Boy didn't have all that. So I can see how like one came out worse than the other. They're different levels of bad. It's just you did not put Homelander you did not put Soldier Boy above Homelander in that regard. Like you did not put him on the worst scale higher. It just didn't happen. So show it next time and then I don't know what to tell you.
I liked Soldier Boy. I love him. I really liked his character. I don't know.
Extremely well acted. I really do think Jensen and Anthony are two such incredible actors that it blows my fucking mind. My fucking mind. So
I didn't see Dean Winchester at all. I didn't see Jensen. I know Jensen very well. I didn't see Jensen at all either.
No.
I've been telling people because there's a convention coming up this weekend. And I just watched The Boys about a month ago, so I haven't been to a convention since I watched it. And I've seen Jensen Ackles like 40 or 50 times in my life. And this time around, I'm getting a little weird because I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to go meet Soldier Boy. He's the same person. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. When you actually meet Jensen Ackles, he's like a glittering, tall...
Rachel can't speak.
I actually am rendered speechless because, like, I don't know if y'all have ever seen someone sparkle in real life. Like, it's some Edward Cullen bullshit. He glitters. I think I've told the story before. When my husband first saw him, he was like, Rachel, why is he shining? And I'm like, I don't know, man. He's just fucking glittering. He just has that star factor. So he was unbelievable in this show. I don't know why the fuck they put him back in the box. They should have kept him.
Because they had to get rid of him, but they also didn't want to kill him.
It's wrong. You should have kept him.
What? Okay. So they kill Homelander or they depower him, and Soldier Boy's still around. What do you think the next season is?
With Soldier Boy?
Yes.
I don't know. I'm not a writer.
Is he? Well, I mean, like, did you envision him then being like the new bad guy? Like they would have to evolutionize him into that? Or
I felt that they would do that, but I thought it would have been interesting to see him in today's world, trying to navigate this world alongside a depowered Homelander who has to now navigate the world depowered.
Oh,
so I just thought it would have been interesting.
You wanted them to mirror, like you were like, fuck Butcher, like get him out of here.
Well, let me listen. Butcher really pissed me off.
I know.
He really made me fucking mad.
I will say too, I tweeted this because I was thinking about it because, you know, they blamed everything that happened on Soldier Boy. They were like an evil Soldier Boy like, did all this shit. So like now the whole public is like, fuck Soldier Boy. Like there's no longer the, he was idolized. He was the first ever Supe, and then he was killed in combat. So he was like, you know, he was an American mythicism or whatever. Right. And now they're like, he came back and he was a dick to Homelander and, you know, blah, 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 blah. So like now the public is like, fucking hate Soldier Boy. So I was just thinking about when they do inevitably bring Jensen back, because they will wake him up from that fucking chamber. And then, you know, this time he'll probably be pissed. And you know what? He could be fucking evil and he's still right for it. So the show ruined it because I don't know what you can do. That I'll be like, he does not deserve to be acting like this. But I was like, that's the big difference between him and Homelander too, right? Because if people got that idea about Homelander and were screaming about it, it would you saw it when his approval rating was dropping, like his face was getting more and more waxy and like rigor mortis. Like he was like, it was affecting him. Yeah. I don't think Soldier Boy gives a flying fuck. He'll come back and like people will throw like milkshakes on him in the street. He will not fucking care. He'll just continue.
Bunch of pussies.
Yeah. Literally that. Like
the hell is wrong with you? I don't care enough to find out. Bring me your grandmother. Oh my God. Well, listen, what this show does exceptionally well is showing how nuanced people can be and how you cannot be a Sith and deal in absolutes. You know, they all have good and bad in them. It's interesting to explore. It's interesting to see and watch. I really enjoy it. I know it's not the show for everybody. I know it's not the shtick for everybody. But
yeah, I was really dreading it because just straight up because of the gore. And this show was nothing as bad as everybody presumed me.
No, I told her if
people
she could get through Supernatural,
so over dramatic. That show was not bad. It was not gory in the slightest.
Go watch House of a Thousand Corpses and then go watch The Boys and
or
then
AHS.
fucking tell me.
I couldn't watch American Horror Story.
Really?
Could not do it. Mm-mm.
Interesting.
Yeah, Aaron,
I would have thought you could handle that.
No, well, it's because it's scary on top of gore, so it's like too much for me that I'm like,
I don't know if it's scary.
I couldn't do Hannibal.
She gets scared of Nancy Drew, so whatever.
Shut the fuck up. I watched Nancy Drew.
Hannibal is grosser than The Boys.
That bitch Lucy kept being so fucking extra for no reason.
She was for no reason. Yeah. I like the gore and the spooky stuff. Lauren is, you know, a fluffy little princess. So.
Yes. Yeah. Totally.
That's fine. But I'm glad she enjoyed it. I'm glad we did this episode. We really needed to. And I know Jensen Ackles was going to be the kick in the ass that she needed to get there. So I timed it, you know. So good shit. Good show. Bad ending. Fix it. fix it,
Fix
I'm
the
gonna be
ending.
really
How are they gonna do
angry in
that?
season 4. No,
You couldn't even tell me what they should do.
what they should do from here.
Yeah. Okay. What should they do from
I
here?
don't know
I'm
how
not
you
a
can
writer.
fix it. I don't know how you can fix it at this point. Like you made them make such stupid decisions, and then none of them regretted it. They immediately were all like, "This is great. We are the good guys." No, you're all fucking stupid, except MM. All of you are fucking stupid. I'm so mad at Annie. No, I'm sorry. Except MM and Maeve.
Okay. Yeah.
I love Maeve. Oh, I love Maeve. Maeve is actually my favorite character on the show. So I hope they bring her back too.
No, she's done. She's retired. Don't bother her.
No. Like in a good way, you know?
How could she be brought back and it would be in a good way?
For a big fight when they have to take down Homelander.
Okay.
And let her kill him.
Okay.
She's the one who deserves to kill him, not Butcher.
Mm-hmm.
Homelander didn't actually fucking do anything to Butcher himself.
He did it to his wife, yeah.
Yeah, he did. So his wife had the right to be that
Right.
angry, that personal, like he internalized it in such a Gryffindor fucking way. That
Yep.
just, whatever. It's so, he annoys the shit out of me.
He is
I get it.
He takes on, because he has responsibilities for people. He takes on like, this was my fault that this has nothing to do with you. It's nothing to fucking do with you.
So goddamn infuriating. He makes it all about himself. Jesus Lord. But anyway, I really, really love this show. So I'm excited for it to come back. And hopefully this season and its upcoming finale will be better than this finale, because the show was doing so well in season 3 until that ending. You wrote yourselves into a goddamn corner. But it's okay. I can forgive it because it's a good show. Next year, we'll do Buffy for my birthday.
Okay.
So you have a year.
Okay.
Get over the
Watch
hyenas.
Buffy.
Uh-huh.
Fucking Xander. I have to watch this. Abandon.
You know what's sick is
Huh.
like I can see so much growth in myself from childhood to now, because Xander used to be one of my favorites.
Oh no.
Well, because the way this show framed him, and also like by nature of the early 90s and early 2000s,
Yeah.
characters like that were just like, they're like Chandler from Friends, you know?
Oh, yeah.
But when you get older and you start to understand what Xander's fucking problems are, you're like, ew,
Mm-hmm.
ew, Xander. So we won't be sorting him. Like, I don't care how much your little lines make me laugh. Buffy's the best one on that show. That's all I have to say.
Okay, well, for my birthday, we're going to do Captain Hook and 2 other people that don't matter as much, so you have to watch Once Upon a Time.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Put him off long enough. I want to talk about him.
I got nothing to say. I got nothing to say to you.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
I can't believe you pigeonholed me this way.
We're going to be on Bed, Wed, and Behead soon, doing Jane Austen.
Yay!
Yay! Don't know when. They just DM'd and asked what our schedules look like.
Did they?
Yeah. Earlier this morning. I knew you didn't see it.
Thanks. Thanks for seeing it and then being like, she didn't see it, and then not telling me I didn't see it. That's so great.
Next time, George is going to be here because we're doing Amy, Rory, and River.
Did we invite him for that?
I thought we did. I mean, you can uninvite him. He's your husband.
Oh, mean. I don't know. I'll talk to him about it.
I don't know. Okay, George may or may not be here, depending on
No, they're not his favorites.
how
They're my
Rachel
favorites.
feels. I thought we said that he could be on the next Doctor Who episode.
Oh, I think he just wants to be. Yeah.
I mean, he wanted to be on the Star Wars episode too, and
He wants to be on most of the episodes.
Oh,
He wants us to start a podcast.
you two
Yeah.
about what?
Media. And just watching media and talking about it after, because it's like all we do and talk about. And he's like, our conversations are so funny. We should do a podcast. And I'm like, you know what? A lot of that is just my star quality and charisma and star power. And I could take us to the top, but you know what? I'm lazy.
Wow, you want to create a competing podcast?
Oh, Christ. I think there's enough podcasts that just talk about
Media.
Yeah. Like, you got to put a fun little spin on it.
Mm.
Maybe we could do from a Ravenclaw's point of view and a Gryffindor's point of view. And then you'd all really hate us both.
Yeah.
Because we're both psychotic.
Oh.
Anyway.
All right. I have to start watching New Girl, apparently.
Oh, shit, me too.
I'm
actually going to visit Lauren this weekend. We're going to a Supernatural convention together. We're going to have a sleepover, get really drunk, sort people, gossip, do really fun stuff, and hang out with celebrities from a show that is no longer on the air. But you know what? We have a connection to it. So it's fine. We're going to do that. And then after that, I'm going to Florida.
On a cruise.
So, good stuff
Mhm.
is coming. Like personally in my life.
me.
I don't know about it's my birthday though, so like just so you're all super happy for me, I'm just letting you know what's coming up. Your girl's doing great for now. Ha ha. See you next time.
Please rate us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts. Listen to us on Spotify. Well, you're already fucking listening to us. You know where you found us. Just give us the 5 stars.
Shout out to my brother Jason for doing that.
Oh, did he?
Big ups to Jason. Yeah, because
Thanks,
I
Jason.
aired his Natalie Portman beef and I got him the
Recognition that he needed.
yeah, that he needed and deserved since 1999. So
It's closure.
it's
All right.
okay, guys.
Natalie Portman heard it.
She did.
Where-
And she'll have her people contact my people and we'll sort this out. We'll sort it out. See you next
Great.
time
Bye.
for the new girl. Bye.
No, for Doctor Who.
See you next time for Doctor Who. Sorry, you got me really excited about New Girl. I was like, oh, yay, I get to go rewatch that
We're
now.
going to talk about Nick and Schmidt.
Listen, I can just do Doctor Who right now. We could just stop this and go. I don't have to do any work for that. I have to do some work for the New Girl. Who are we sorting?
For New Girl?
Yeah.
I think we said Nick Schmidt, Jess, but we can talk about it.
All right. Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Sort of Brilliant. If our sorting choices inspired any rage or excitement, we'd love to hear from you. We're open to feedback, suggestions for characters to sort, and solid counter-arguments with citations.
Never forget your citations. You can find us hanging out on Twitter and Instagram at SOB_pod or shoot us an email at sortofbrilliant@gmail.com.
And since we're not above begging, please rate and subscribe to Sort of Brilliant on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever else you listen to podcasts. Please share our posts on social media. And if you're a Gryffindor, maybe you'll inspire sorting fights among your own friend group.
The theme music is Hot Shot by Scott Holmes. Can't wait to sort with you again next time. Bye!